Hey guys, it's Cameron again, and I have been back from my trip to Florida for about a week and a half now, so I figured I'd better go ahead and do my Harry Potter vacation video, as you could probably guess by the glasses. This is about as close as I have to Harry Potter glasses, so we're just gonna roll with it. My trip was absolutely fantastic, and I was there for 10 days, and I was only in the Harry Potter theme park for one of those days, so I did a lot of other things while I was in Florida. But I'm just going to stick to talking about the Wizarding World, because I know that's what you all really want to hear about. So when my dad, my sister, and I got to Universal Studios, we walked straight to the back, which is where the Harry Potter stuff is. We knew we'd spend the most time in the Harry Potter section of the park, so we decided to go there first. So we were walking through Universal, and suddenly things start looking a little bit familiar. There are all of these brick roads all of a sudden, all these alleyways. It looked like I was in London. And then King's Cross Station and the night bus right across the street. And as soon as we reached King's Cross Station, it started raining. When you're in Orlando, Florida, that's pretty common. There are scattered showers throughout the day. But I thought it was pretty funny how it started raining exactly when we got to King's Cross. Because if you guys are familiar with Harry Potter, it's almost always raining in those movies. So it just added to the atmosphere. Unfortunately, for that reason, I wasn't able to get very much video, but I was able to get some, and I got a lot of pictures. And then we started walking around in the alleyways, and when we finally came to a clearing, we were in Diagon Alley. So when I first got into Diagon Alley, I just stood there in the walkway and stared. All the shops were lined along the street, just like in the movies. It looked exactly like it did in the movies. And at the very end of the road was Gringotts, and the dragon was on top blowing fire, and the detail in that dragon is just incredible. I was absolutely blown away by it. We slowly started investigating all of the shops. I went into Ollivanders and got my wand. That was one of the first shops that I went into, and of course I had to get Dumbledore's wand. Now there are two different wands that you can get. You can get a regular wand, or you can get the interactive one. The interactive ones have this little sensor on the very top of the wand, and there are certain spots throughout the park that you can step up to. They're like these gold plates on the ground. So you go up to them, you get out your wand, and you look on the gold plate. It has a spell around it as well as the direction that you're supposed to move your wand. So you say the spell, you move your wand the exact same way that it says to on the gold plate, and something will happen. Like if you step up to a drinking fountain and you say Aquamente, the fountain will come on. There were some glitches with some of the incantations, but for the most part everything seemed to work pretty well, especially for my wand, because I have the Elder Wand, so obviously it would work for mine. So anyway, yeah, I got an interactive wand. Cost a little bit more, but it wasn't too bad. So it's very pretty, and I'm extremely happy with it. It also came with this little Marauders map. On one side, there is Diagon Alley, and it shows you the whole park and the different spells that you can cast and where those spells are located at throughout the park. And then you flip it around, and there is Hogsmeade, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute. Then I went into Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, and that was probably the shop I was most excited for, because it's just such a whimsical store, and there's so much activity going on. It was just like in the movies. It's so colorful. It had the little Professor Umbridge that balanced on this tightrope all around the store.
Attention all witches, wizards, and muggles! We have Sarah here adopting her very first piggy pup, and she would like to call her TARDIS to give her a wand.
After that, we just walked around to the other stores. Then me and my sister went into Gringotts to go on the ride, and just waiting in line for the ride was awesome because you had all of the goblins around. As you can see, I got a selfie with me and the goblin at the head of Gringotts. And then I have some video as well,
where your Gringotts identification photo will be taken. Then, go directly to the office at the end of the corridor. From there, you will be escorted to your home.
The entire bank with the chandeliers and everything else was just exquisite. And then the ride blew my mind. And then, of course, since it's Diagon Alley, there are all of the creepy alleyways like Nocturne Alley and whatnot that you can go down, and that was probably one of my favorite parts of Diagon Alley. I would have gotten video of it if it hadn't been so dark and dingy, but fortunately my camera wasn't picking everything up very well. And then after I saw all of Diagon Alley, it was time to board the Hogwarts Express.
Dementors on the Hogwarts Express. Foul, miserable creatures. Something from the trolley, dear.
When you board the train, it takes you to the other part of Universal Studios, which is Islands of Adventure. That is where you find Hogsmeade and Hogwarts and all of that other good stuff. So when my family and I got off of the Hogwarts Express, we were in Hogsmeade. Stepping into Hogsmeade is just like stepping into another world. Now, Hogsmeade isn't quite as big as Diagon Alley is. There aren't as many stores. Most of the stores are fake. You can just look in the windows and kind of see what's inside, but you can't really go in. But we could go into the sweet shop, which was amazing. So while I was there, I bought my very first chocolate frog. I bought a couple of others for people I wanted to give souvenirs to, but this one was mine. I already ate my chocolate frog because I couldn't wait. But the wizard card that I got was Salazar Slytherin. And while I was in the shop, the workers there saw how many things that my family and I were holding, so they offered us one of these really big Wizarding World bags, which of course I'm keeping. I forgot to show you guys, when I got my wand, I also got this Ollivander's bag to carry it around in, so of course I'm keeping that as well. By far my favorite part of Hogsmeade was going into the Hog's Head and getting some butterbeer and just hanging out there. The bartender was probably the coolest guy I've ever met in my entire life. He was completely in character, and you know, a regular bartender has to keep the customers entertained, and he did exactly that, but only in a Harry Potter kind of way. He was obviously the biggest Harry Potter fan because he knew exactly what he was talking about. It really made me feel even more like I was in that world. So when I was there, I got a frozen butterbeer. It was the first thing I tried, and oh my gosh, it was amazing. But I actually think I liked the regular butterbeer a bit more. I don't know, it was just creamier and the taste was just a little more distinct, and oh my gosh, it was just amazing. And while I was there, I also tried pumpkin juice, of course. This tasted amazing as well. It tasted kind of like apple cider, but there's definitely a distinct pumpkin cinnamon kind of taste there. But I mean, just the bottle itself is awesome and makes me want Halloween really bad. Now there are 3 rides in Hogsmeade. There's the Dragon Ride, the Hippogriff Ride, and then the Hogwarts Ride. The Dragon Ride has some pretty big drops and loops, and I've got a bit of a problem with heights. I mean, I'm fine with heights as long as I'm not, you know, dropping from high spots or hanging down from high places. So I didn't go on that ride because I was scared. But I did go on the Hippogriff Ride, and it was a lot of fun. It's really short, so it didn't last very long, but it was still a nice experience to ride it. The Hogwarts Ride was really cool as well. It's very similar to the Gringotts Ride, but it's not quite as good. You can definitely tell that the Hogwarts ride came first, and then when they made the Gringotts ride, it kind of bumped up the game a bit. But it was still a really fun ride. It was great getting to walk through Hogwarts and get to see everything. Tried to get video, but again, it was really dark, so I wasn't able to pick up much. So that was my trip to the Wizarding World. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.